Superstars make the NBA world go round, and the league is heavily reliant on them to keep and attract its fan base. When Jordan retired, the league marketed at least 10 guys as new Jordans. It proved that it was Kobe who took over, and after him, it was LeBron. King James is 35 at the moment, but the NBA doesn't have to worry. There are plenty of young players with superstar potential and who will take the spotlight and become the new faces of the league. Here are the 10 best NBA players aged 21 or younger. In the absence of Zion Williamson, Ja Morant broke out as the biggest star of the 2019 draft class. He is an incredibly explosive playmaker whose athleticism is manifested both vertically and horizontally. Vertically when he tries to kill people with his dunks, and horizontally due to rapid changes of direction while dribbling. Despite his speedy play, he's not a wild player who plays out of control, as is generally the case with players with God-given athleticism. His efficiency in the pick and roll and the ability to dissect defenses is astounding for a rookie, who often looked like a 10-year veteran. Morant finished his first season as one of 7 rookies in NBA history to average 17 plus PPG and 17 plus APG, joining players like Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, and Oscar Robertson. Efficiency, clutch performance, and an atypically mature 20-year-old play are the main reasons why Memphis has skipped stages in rebuilding and why Morant should be the Rookie of the Year. Trae Young. Trae's name will forever be linked with Doncic's due to the draft night trade that sent Luka to Dallas and Young to the Hawks. During the first 2 months of his rookie year, Trae Young made Atlanta GM extremely stupid for trading Luka Doncic away. He couldn't buy a bucket, his shot percentage was abysmal, and his defense was non-existent. Now, 2 years after the draft, we can safely say that the Young Doncic trade was a win-win. While Luka is still a better player and likely always will be due to size and strength, which Young will never possess, skill-wise, they are quite similar. Like Doncic, Trae can dissect the opposing defense and make passes that ordinary basketball players just can't. He's also a much better shooter. As soon as Trae enters the half court with the ball, an alarm goes off for all league defenses. Why? Because of the Curry-esque shooting range, which has no limits. Shots from the logo became Young's trademark, and only Damian Lillard shot more efficiently beyond 30 feet than Ice Trae. Trae's defense improved from terrible to bad, and he'll always struggle on that end due to a lack of size. However, he is already an offensive juggernaut who is already putting up Hall of Fame numbers. Atlanta's star point guard finished this season with 29.6 points, which was 4th in the league, and with 9.3 assists, he was 2nd best passer in the NBA behind LeBron. Like Doncic, Trae is only 21 and getting better, and it will be interesting to compare them as they develop. Zion Williamson. From all young stars on the list, the NBA is counting on Zion the most. Zion is just so good, so unique, and so remarkable. And he is projected to become a global star in the realm of LeBron, Kobe, or KD. The only thing that could get away from those big plans is Zion's health, which limited him to just 24 games in his rookie season. Humans who weigh 285 pounds are not supposed to move and jump the way Zion does, which creates much strain on his lower extremities. When Zion did play, he quickly reminded everybody why he is the most hyped NBA rookie since LeBron James. In less than 28 minutes per game, the 19-year-old phenom averaged 22.5 points on a whopping 59% shooting, which are unmatched numbers for a rookie, let alone someone who was 2 years away from buying a beer legally in the States. What is mind-boggling is that he achieved these kinds of numbers while being out of shape, and he did it seemingly without too much effort. Williamson will have to shed 20 to 30 pounds before next season to be able to play more minutes without the risk of injury. If he stays healthy, he's likely to average north of 25 points per game and become one of the biggest stars in the NBA. We have our fingers crossed for his body to hold up, and we're sure Adam Silver does too. Luka Doncic. In 2018, Phoenix and Sacramento bought the narrative that Doncic's skill set won't easily translate to the physicality of the NBA game, and they chose Ayton and Bagley with their picks. It took several games for Doncic to make everyone realize they made a mistake, and that winning a EuroLeague and Spanish League MVP as an 18-year-old is much more impressive than being an All-American in the NCAA. While Bagley and Ayton played against guys who were studying for their midterms before the game, Doncic dominated professionals in Europe like no other guy before him. When he came to the NBA, the domination continued, and Luka became the first rookie after Oscar Robertson in 1961 with at least 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. From today's perspective, Ayton and Bagley look like Hakeem Olajuwon and Sam Bowie. Luka looks like Michael Jordan. Okay, comparing him to Jordan is extreme, but Luka deserves to be talked about in superlatives. The young Slovenian became the youngest player to reach 2,000 points, and in his second season, he averaged 28.8 points, 9.4 rebounds, and 8.8 assists. What James Harden is for Houston, 21-year-old Luka is for the Mavs, who had the best offensive rating in the 70-year history of the NBA in 2020. And the scary thing about Luka is that he is only going to get better. I doubt that he is going to become a plus defender, but it won't take too long before he is the best offensive player in the game, which is impressive for a young player who was not physically dominant. Luka is already a top 5 European player ever, which would be blasphemous to say for a 21-year-old if it weren't true. By the end of his career, he might even eclipse that tall German fellow who played with him during his rookie season. Jaren Jackson Jr. If Jaren Jackson continues to develop the skills he showed during his first 2 seasons, the Grizzlies are in good hands with him and Morant. Jaren plays a stifling defense in isolation and as a help defender. He uses his hips and legs very well to cover faster players and is strong enough to handle bulkier centers. He still fouls too much and could improve his positioning and timing, but his defense has all the hallmarks of a future Defensive Player of the Year. On offense, Jackson is a prime example of a modern big. He knows how to throw a timely pass, he has a solid handle, and the best of all, he is a knockdown shooter, although he has some of the weirdest shooting form in recent memory. His shots are going in. Jaren has proven to hit threes in transition, after pick and pop, and even using a step back, which is amazing for a guy his size. Standing at 6'11" with a 7'5" wingspan and shooting 40% from deep, Jaren Jackson is another NBA unicorn who can do it all, and will be a perfect partner for Ja Morant in years to come. Collin Sexton. Sexton entered the NBA in 2018 as a talented but also an extremely raw player, and his ups and downs shouldn't have come as a surprise. Due to a lack of size and poor playmaking skills, many analysts hinted that he needed at least another year in college to be able to cope with the big boys. However, his breakthrough in the second season has surprised a lot of people, and he's been one of few encouraging signs for Cleveland ever since LeBron left for LA. He's scoring a relatively efficient 21 points per game, and with long hands and quick feet, he can even become a good defender. Sexton will always be a shooting guard in the point guard's body, and it will take some time before he can be viewed as a capable playmaker, but the promise is there. And even though he isn't an NBA sweetheart like Trey or Luka, Sexton has shown he can be a building block for the Cavs, who are the worst team in this millennium in those years LeBron didn't play for them. Marvin Bagley. If I ever loved anybody like Vlade Divac loves Marvin Bagley, I'd live a happy life. Former Kings GM drafted Bagley second overall in the 2018 draft, in front of Luka, Trey, and Jaren Jackson. Divac recently doubled down on his pick and said that Bagley still can be the best player in that draft class. We don't know if Divac put something else in his coffee other than sugar, but it's hard to believe him at this point, despite the sea of potential that Bagley is swimming in. Marvin was voted an all-rookie first team with 14 points and 7.5 rebounds per game, and has shown flashes of future greatness. However, those were mostly suppressed by several injuries he suffered as a sophomore, which limited him to just 13 games this season. In fairness to Vlade Divac, we still haven't seen true Bagley yet, and he'll likely be twice as good in the future. Bagley's ceiling is high due to his exceptional jumping ability and because he can run the floor better than most bigs in the league. If he further improves his performance on defense and raises the three-point percentage, he could become a very useful player and even an all-star. Unfortunately for Kings fans, he'll never become Luka Doncic, but it's not like they're used to getting it right in the draft. Tyler Hero. Miami Heat was one of the biggest surprises of the season due to the exceptional growth and maturity from their young players. Bam Adebayo became an all-star, Kendrick Nunn came out of nowhere, and Duncan Robinson shoots like Steph Curry. Hero joined the breakout party and averaged an excellent 13.5 points on 39% shooting from deep. Hero also showed that he could score by putting the ball on the floor, and not just as a spot-up shooter. He also has a decent vision and could become a nice secondary playmaker, which are all great news for the Heat. Hero is also a tireless worker who fits right in the Miami culture, and we are likely going to see big things from this 20-year-old in the future. RJ Barrett. If we judged RJ Barrett just on his NBA play this season, he probably shouldn't be on this list, despite averaging 14.3 points, 5 rebounds, and 2.6 assists. The raw stats don't paint the right picture, and RJ will likely like to forget his rookie season, just like the rest of us who were unfortunate to watch him in the Knicks play this year. Barrett was extremely inefficient, especially from the free throw line. He forced tough shots, he over-dribbled, and generally did Knicks things, which of course is not very good. On the bright side, there were some times he showed why he was selected with the 3rd overall pick. He showed that he could be a point forward for some future Knicks squad with a smooth dribbling ability and fluidity of movement to attack the hoop and create for his teammates. He'll always be a better scorer than a passer, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. In order to become an all-star, which he is definitely capable of, RJ will have to improve his body significantly and will have to become a much better shooter. He has the tools, and decision-making will come with experience. With him and Mitchell Robinson, draft picks, and cap space, Knicks fans finally have something to look forward to.